Hey everyone, it's Fun Around, and my name is Jordan. And Friday, day after trade deadline, was a rough day. So I'm going to shake it off and get to the next day. It's how betting goes. February started off great. My wife, I was talking to her. I was like, things going pretty good. And she's like, that's great. Keep that mindset. And I was like, things are going to turn for the bad eventually. She's like, don't say that. It's bad juju. But it happens. So that's betting, ups and downs. You just got to have more ups than downs. So it is late and I have a few lines out for you. I will add plays to the pinned comment for this slate because it is huge. So throughout the morning, I will look to see if I can find some other plays that I really like. But at first glance, looking through all the lines that I have right now, there are two plays that I really like that I want to point out. One of them won't get bumped because it's a pretty low line, but you will see images that come up on the screen right here. That's from a data app called Outlier. There'll be a link in the description. It'll give you a 7-day free trial for Outlier. And this first pick is going to be Domantas Sabonis. Don't click off the video. I'm not taking his points. Over 13.5 rebounds at minus 115. So the whole story with the Kings, they traded De'Aaron Fox. They got Zach LaVine. Now they have De'Aaron Fox was a volume shooter, but he was a distributor as well, and he fit more with the offense. And now you bring in Zach LaVine, who he's not going to pass the ball that much. He's a volume shooter. Malik Monk traditionally is just a volume shooter and not that passer. He showed he could be, but he hasn't been since this trade. And then you have DeMar DeRozan, the same type of player. And Domantas Sabonis has been the odd man out when it comes to shooting the ball. So I figured, let's take a look at his rebounding. And his rebounding has come down a little bit, and we'll talk about that. And I think it's brought this line down a little bit, which is kind of giving us a discount when a guy doesn't play as well, brings the line down, but we have a really good matchup here. So the matchup is the Pelicans, who give up the third most rebounds overall to all teams and to centers. He had 20 rebounds against them earlier this year on 28 rebound chances. So recent history in the two games with Zach LaVine, he went under in one where it was a blowout against the Magic. He didn't play the entire game. He came out early, and then the last game he fouled out, and he still went over, but just barely. And then before Zach LaVine showed up, he had a tough matchup against Minnesota Timberwolves. He did not go over, and then he was blown out by the Thunder. And then before that, he had a really good rebounding streak going. This line was up to 14.5, 15.5. So now it's coming back down a little bit based off these past performances. And he's still a great rebounder, one of the top rebounders in the NBA. So the Zach LaVine trade's not going to hurt his rebounding. Zach LaVine's not going to go and steal a bunch of rebounds from Domantas Sabonis. And we finally have a matchup here. So we're going to have two teams that have bunch of scores and a lot of bricks to go around, along with a lot of made shots. Could be a lot of points here as well. And I checked, and Domantas Sabonis is averaging 4 offensive rebounds a game. So almost a third of his rebounds are coming from offensive rebounds, and the New Orleans Pelicans are giving up the second most offensive rebounds over the past month. So everything checks out here for rebounding. So if you guys could please like the video. If you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. If you have a little bit of extra time, could you leave a comment for the algorithm? You just say hello. That helps get this video out there for more people to see. And since the last video just didn't do great, I'm not even going to do the ad read. I'm just going to move on to this next pick. So this next pick is going to be a hit rate based pick, and the payout. Sometimes I see these and I'm like, okay, so if we had this payout every single time for the whole season, would you keep betting it? And the answer is yes, and you'd be profitable. So it's going to be TJ McConnell of the Pacers over 0.5 steals at minus 140. So the matchup is the Lakers. They give up the 9th most steals to the point guard position. Austin Reeves and LeBron are questionable. So if they are ruled out, then we have less ball handlers for the Lakers to run the offense which obviously increases the chance for TJ McConnell to get a steal here. Now, the history, he's gone over in 80% of games this year, and 2 out of 3 versus the Lakers last year. And on the road this year, he has only 4 misses, only 4 unders on the road, 85% hit rate. And I'm not sure if this means much, but with Miles Turner out, there's 4 different games. He has a 100% hit rate. I think Miles Turner being out is going to add minutes to the entire rotation. He could benefit, just a little bit, get some extra minutes, but it may be a coincidence that he averages almost 3 steals a game with Miles Turner out and getting those that little bit of boost. Not sure, but we just need him to get one of them. So this is a hit rate based play, and I really like it. Something you could add to a parlay with 80% hit rate on the year, 85% on the road. I really like this for TJ McConnell in a Lakers matchup where, it looks like Luka is going to return on Monday, so maybe LeBron wants to sit this one out so he can be healthy and ready to go to play in his debut with Luka. So we'll see how the injury report goes, and we'll see how the injury report goes for all these other games. There are a lot of teams on a back-to-back and stuff like that, but there are a lot of fireworks matchups to take a look at. And also someone mentioned the first quarter props. Last year I used to hand out 3 to 5 different first quarter props with a really good payouts and really good hit rates. If I can find any of those, I'll put those in the pinned comment as well, because I just kind of stopped looking at the first quarter props. I was eyeing Shea for yesterday for 10.5 points. He ended up with 11, so I should have just taken that. But it is what it is. So if you'd like to discuss lines further, I have a Discord. Link is in the description. You can hop on in there and talk about all kinds of sports, talk about Super Bowl, whatever you want to talk about in there. It's a really big community. And then as far as a recap goes, it's not pretty, but these days happen, and gotta go through it, discuss it, and understand why things missed. So the first pick was Nikola Jovic over points plus assist. He was looking pretty good going into halftime. He went into the fourth quarter and the entire Heat's offense stalled. You can take a look. I think they scored like 8 or 9 points total in the fourth quarter. He did not get a shot up. They were not passing him the ball. Everything just completely shut down. And this is normally where he's getting 3-point attempts up and he's knocking them down. He just needed like 2 more makes. He was getting a few assists there in the second half, but just was not getting the volume that he normally gets. He's normally like lights out. He did get his 2 3-pointers made that I pointed out, has a very high hit rate. So if you had taken that or added that to a parlay, you would have boosted it a little bit. But he's not someone I'm going to just go away from. Hopefully this bumps his line down. It wasn't an awful performance or anything. He just didn't get the volume. Next one was Scotty Barnes under 20.5 points. This was just a hurtful one, awful one versus the Thunder. Terrible matchup for him. He had like 2 points going into the last 2 minutes of the half, and then knocks down a couple of threes. And this is a guy that shoots 20% from the 3-point line for the past 10 games, and knocks down 2 threes. Comes out in the third quarter, knocks down another 3. Doesn't do too much, and gets a few buckets here and there. And then I'm like, okay, he needs 5 points. It's a blowout. There's no way he's going to get this done. And then he gets a 2, and the Thunder, they put their backups in, and he knocks out a 3, and then they pull him due to a blowout. So he hooks at 21 and gets his career high versus the Thunder. So just one of those days. And then Joel Embiid over 40.5 points, rebounds, and assists. And if you were paying attention, he had like 3 points going into halftime, yelling at teammates, just not doing much at all. Then comes out in the third and pretty much gets really, really close to this PRA in the third quarter, but it's a blowout, like 20-point blowout. He comes in with a couple minutes left when they knock it down to 15 points, and they just start bricking a bunch of threes, and he never touches the ball again, and ends up missing this by 6. But yeah, there was some foul trouble in there, yelling at teammates, just a mess there in Philadelphia. So just everything that could go wrong went wrong. He had a little foul trouble too. Like it's blowouts, all that fun stuff. But I've been doing this for 2 years now, 2.5 NBA seasons, and it is what it is. You just move on to the next day. So I'm going to get this one edited and get it out to you. God bless you all. It's final round. My name is Jordan. I will catch you on the next one. Bye.